Oh, MISAMO?
Today we are reacting to Twice's Japanese subunit, MISAMO, and their song Confetti, which was a pre-release off of their Japanese album Play. This song celebrates stepping onto life's stage without a script, embracing change, and choosing to show up confidently even when the ending is unpredictable. The lyrics are about trusting the process, having fun in the moment, and deciding that right now is already worth celebrating.
Me celebrating life for the purpose of celebrating life? Hey man. It's like the picture of Robert Downey Jr. and it's like he is simply a appreciator of life and joy.
This song is composed by Hegi, Sia, Lee Sung-hoon, Woobin, and Deneb. If you're hearing this right now, that means this video isn't monetizable, nor is it sponsored. Instead, this video is brought to you by you, our YouTube members and supporters on Patreon. Patreon and YouTube memberships are how viewers like you can support our team and also gain access to tons of exclusive content.
When did we get to E minor?
She looks so good. Oh, it's so like...
Whoa!
Whoa! Huh? Huh?
Thank you so much to all of you who already support us. We really couldn't keep doing this without you. And now, back to the video. What genre do you predict? What kind of groove do you predict?
Disco. It's gonna sound like Happy Birthday.
Okay, then let's take a listen. Let's listen together.
Called Confetti.
3, 2, 1, go!
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, this kind of sounds like Happy Birthday.
Happy Birthday, core.
It's already giving like Melanie Martinez.
Yo!
Oh,
Beautiful.
Oh.
Momo.
So not disco?
They're keeping the retro.
We're we doing some electro vibes.
Oh! Okay.
What?
That bass line.
Yeah.
There's piano in there. There's piano in the bass line. That's cool. I like that.
What genre is this?
Very much so a flapper kind of feel.
They love kind of this like old Hollywood vibe. I feel like in a lot of the stuff they put out.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh. That's not where I thought it would go.
Oh, the snare is so good in this song.
Oh, cute. Charleston, are you kidding me? Get out! So cute.
1900s K-pop.
There are some beats that I feel like are being held and it sounds whack.
I like that. Nice use of space. Ooh.
Oh, fun.
Ah, nice. Oh no, keep walking the bass, man.
This feels like a YouTube outro.
Leather. Ooh. Ooh, fun little octave situation.
Very
That's a
similar.
crazy bunny too.
Yo, no way.
They're all bunnies.
They're all bunnies. Oh.
That's a dancing skeleton.
Charleston. 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 Charleston.
It gotta remind me of like the corpse bride skeletons.
Dixieland? Is that what you were thinking?
I love the vocals here. They're just so pretty and well done, and then the harmonies are really nice.
Bass walking!
This is kind of Dixieland, actually, yeah.
Little
It's so theater! It's so theater!
Go up. No! Go up again!
There's so much syncopation here.
Go up one more time! Why not?
This one? It is, right?
Ah, nice.
Nice.
It's very Disney princess.
Yeah, well, they're in like the tangled square. Isn't that what that's supposed to be?
So cute.
Nice. Nice.
It's
Nice.
giving K-pop Walt Disney, like early Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
cartoons.
No, absolutely.
So pretty. Yeah, it resembles the title, Confetti.
The whole song was just so musical theater, and I just love musical theater. It's been a while since I've watched one. And their aesthetic for this like MV, because I feel like they're such veterans in the industry, and for them to still have such like a youthful, fresh concept was like a nice surprise.
I really like this concept because it feels fresh and youthful and retro in a way that other people are not really doing right now. I think like everybody's going for like the futuristic punk vibe. This is very much like when Akmu did Rebuy. I think that's what it reminds me of. That was like super charming.
This is Jam City. This is literally just like jazz inspiration, and it's absolutely incredible. Like I love the fact that they always have to do like a subgenre type deal, like most of the time. Like it's K-pop, but it's so international. I mean, it uses like a pretty standard jazz progression the whole way, especially in the chorus. It just does the 1-6-2-5 1-6-2-5 type deal that keeps going around in a circle. Sounds great.
1-6-2-5 and like very archetypical musical theater instrumentation, like brass, piano. You've got like a fun little bass. Yeah, obviously padded with like a lot of other synths and whatnot, but yeah, they have a vibe that they're very clearly going for musically as well as visually.
I also feel like they took like inspiration from like later 1900s movies and, you know, general themes. It's like the scene where, you know, they're all dancing. This one, it's like in Dancing in the Moonlight.
This is literally like
this is like and comedy, tragedy, boom. Like that's literally, yeah. And like this dance moves too are very in the same essence of the time period.
I will say this chord progression is also very commonly used for the dance called the Charleston, which is pretty much when you just like walk forward 1, walk back 2, walk forward 2, and then you like move your hands like this.
Can you Charleston?
It's yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Out in, and then touch. Don't clown me. It looks bad.
Most of the time, the music of this style was played at like clubs and Savoys and like all these like underneath. What is it called? The out, huh? Yeah, because this is like during that time, and people just wanted to have a good time. So Glenn Miller Orchestra and like the Duke Ellington Orchestra and all these kind of stuff, they're playing in these bars and Savoys. And it might not all be from the 1910s or the 1920s, but the style was pretty, like, it was very much so, like, there was a foundation in that time.
There is, like, a lot of layers of instrumentation in the behind that just makes it more upbeat and, like, energetic. I hear, like, trumpets. Trumpets have really high-pitched, thick sounds. Yeah, exactly. That can definitely help. And drums, there are, like, a lot of drums in the behind, too. But the repetitive offbeat that she was talking about, the bass note, because it's the rhythmic element is parallel and it's keep repeating. Yeah. We expect it, so maybe it sounds more jolly.
I feel like it's not like very like listenable, like if that makes sense. Because it's listenable, but it's just like it's a very specific like subset of like stuff. Like it's not just like I don't know, like I don't know how to say it. It's fine, but it's like it sounds like what they would like when you would get an Evite in like 2013 and they would put a cute little like song over the back of it. That's kind of what it sounds like to me.
You need to listen to some Caravan Palace or something.
I thought it was just like so fun, and it took this like kind of sound that like comes from like 1920s type like show art.
It's like big band era kind of like that's like kind of the sound they're going for. Everything was very jazzy and jazz inspired, totally across the whole thing. I kind of thought it was just gonna be in the beginning, and then when they stuck with it, I think the moment that I realized that this was like the jazz was kind of like gonna be around for the entire time was when I heard the piano and the bass. I was like, that sounds almost too acoustic to be. It sounded too acoustic to be like anything else except for just like the jazz inspiration was gonna stick around for the whole time.
It's giving Dixieland, I think.
Can
Can you explain what you mean by that?
Yeah, what do I mean by that?
Because so like Dixieland, right?
Well,
like you know,
no, you first.
When we talk about ragtime,
React to the K.
You should put like one of those boop, like cut out with like things for the bloopers, you know? I'm giving you editing ideas. Dixieland, ragtime,
it's usually in 2.
Right? Is that like sort of like...
See, that's what I was thinking. No, that's not.
I thought that was what Dixieland was.
No, there's a more specific, but yeah, it's like...
Second line? First line?
Second line! Yeah, New Orleans, yeah. New Orleans second line. It has that kind of flavor to it. I don't even know why. I think it's just because it's a little bit on the backside. Like it's not sloppy enough to be second line though. It's too perfect. Second line has to be a little sloppier.
What is second line?
It's like New Orleans jazz.
Yeah, give us that groove again. That was perfect,
so
man.
It's like it's kind of just like dirty, kind of messy, sloppy. Like they play it like in the street and stuff. And it gave that like Mickey Mouse like if you ever go to like Disneyland and that you see like the Disneyland drum corps, like a drum line.
Yeah,
they sort of play like sort of stuff like that.
I think why I was feeling Dixieland was because it's the flavor of second line, but it's kind of too perfect, which gives it more of a ragtime vibe. Because Dixieland is pretty straight. It's
and I love the way that they're still keeping their like their sound, like vocally, like their tone, but they're also singing in a certain rhythmic way that makes their voice fit into the jazz atmosphere, which is really like pleasing on the ears. And it's like it combines the new elements with the old.
I mean, like Twice has very distinct voices, but I think these members work well together in particular because Sana has like a more cutesy voice, and then Momo has like a really unique voice we hear in the rap, and then Mina has like a darker timbre, which like was perfect for the end of the song. By the way, that was so nice.
Yeah, I wanted to comment on the low register of the voices. They were always doing this kind of like interval. And then I think we're up here. Confetti, but this, I think that's pretty low for female singers in a pop song, and kind of like an odd place, you know, like normally you start out somewhere that low in the verse and then you have like a higher location, higher register in the chorus. But here, this is kind of like part of the hook going into the chorus, and it's so much lower than everything that was before. So that really caught my ear when I first listened.
Parts that are like sticking out to me is like the confetti chorus. Yeah, stuff like that. Like the accenting that higher interval allows for this like sense of like really nice, beautiful singing that it like pulls your ear in, because they could just go like like not really accenting that much, and you're automatically going to accent like when you're singing in an interval in general, but the way that they sing it is quite like they hit that top interval and then they go down, so being able to have that rise and fall, and you can like hear in her voice like these beautiful, like she's supporting the sound as she's going up and then it comes back down, and it's not trying to be like too flashy, and it's not trying to be anything that it's not. It's just sung really beautifully and very like addicting to listen to.
I like it when they do that thing where it's like they place the emphasis of the syllable on different parts of the word, like confetti, confetti, confetti. It was giving me so like trauma from like percussion pieces I played, like really like the
confetti, 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 confetti.
Confetti, confetti, confetti,
Confetti,
confetti.
confetti.
Confetti,
Say
confetti,
that 10
confetti,
times
confetti.
fast.
It's easier if you know which syllable.
Confetti,
confetti, confetti, confetti. Whoa! Confetti, 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 confetti.
The vocals just have such a nice timbre to it, and they're not like, it's clear that they just like know how to sing well and how not to push their voice, and how to really just like keep a line like very delivered in a very beautiful way. There's also like the harmonies, and you can help me out with this if you'd like to, but these I thought were really cool throughout, like because they all these background vocals, like there's a lot of information going on in these vocals.
Oh yeah.
So we have like these ad-libs, like the like, so there's all these other accents that they're adding the other parts in doing to do, which allows for a lot more information to be like added into the score that's quite subtle, but it is really pleasing to the ear, and taking advantage of all the beautiful voices that the three of them have.
Man, that modulation, bro. This song needed the modulation. I was like, hell yeah, let's freaking go. But I was ready for them to go up again. Why not? Why not go up again?
I thought the modulation like back and forth was like teasing us. It was,
oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, it like went modulated and then went back and then went back again and then right into the last chorus in the new key, and it was very fun.
The modulation is so fun because it's so close by that you can use this pitch, which was the original keys tonic, as the 7th of the new key. So then you can be a little bit teasing with like having some C tonality in this D flat area.
Yeah.
I don't think they really went back, but it felt like they did for a second, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the
Yeah, you would expect.
so you're like, are they going back? Is it
Yeah.
going to be in C major again?
Yeah.
But then it's in D flat still.
Yeah.
They're just baiting you.
They're baiting us.
It just feels so celebratory at the end because it's modulated and we're just like, yay!
A lot of like songs will just do that, where they'll move up a key and it's like, oh, even brighter, even happier. And you know, they're just continuing to build. Like
the bass, the walking bass.
that's a good example. Oh yeah, that too.
I was gonna say there's a lot of syncopation in here. There's just a bunch of like offbeat hits and stuff. Kind of throws you off a little bit if you're not like really locked into the groove.
I thought it was really interesting how everything was very jazzy except for the drums. True. There wasn't like it wasn't a true like jazz drum set. It was like it sounded almost like more like marching percussion swinging while the rest of the band like it fit in time, but it was not a true like. So when we're talking about the big band era, which I think is what kind of like you kind of hit it on the head, like this is kind of the genre that they're really kind of imitating. The thing about big band jazz is that a big band is only as good as its drummer. And so I think that's what kind of stopped me from being like, oh, this is like actual jazz, is the fact that the drums aren't really, it's not really jazz drums. Yeah.
All the synth keyboard.
In that dump, dun, 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 dun. If this was a real jazz drummer, you'd hear the guy, the drummer going, there'd be fills in between all those hits. And there's not.
Yeah.
And it's okay, it just like makes it sound a little bit less like true jazz. I will say, the snare does, like that marching snare does have a place in jazz. It kind of comes from New Orleans style jazz. The second line kind of sings that led to the swing era kind of getting founded. So that's in there. And it sounds like authentic. I just it doesn't quite sound like jazz without that without that drummer.
K-pop, out of everything you showed me, is just known for like, it takes a little bit of this, let me take a little, like if they're at like a pie sampler, oh, let me try this pie, let me try a little bit of this pie, oh, I like the way this look, you know, I'm like, we're just gonna, and they kind of just sometimes either mush the whole thing together or like sort of piece it together with different ones. So I think because it didn't necessarily do that, it added to the poppy like sort of K-pop vibe. You know what I mean? Specifically, like right off the bat, it sets before the drum comes in, it sets up this like ragtime, like dixieland, like all these genre names we've been throwing out there. It sets up that groove, right? And then the drummer is like laying it down 2 and 4. Right, yeah. Which is like not what you would do in that groove, but it's pop. It's like pop jazz, like you know what I mean.
Something I wanted to mention too about the absence of that drummer in that part and stuff like that. It's really just hitting the beats it needs to, and then all of a sudden we get lifted out of that space. And what I really liked about that is it brought in these modern elements while also beautifying like the previous context of like the traditional-esque like jazz stuff, which I thought was really cool. It doesn't try to be something that it's not, and it doesn't try to mimic something that it's not.
Again, you can only do so much in the span of 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So the fact that they're moving so fast through what they need to get through is warranted, and I think it adds to the hyperactive feel that I feel like most K-pop songs have. It's very, very energetic, and it continues to move forward, and it's still going.
I just like the piano riff.
Yeah. Also that like little chord out of nowhere, a lot of that's kind of second line actually. I think that's where the second line comes from and not the Dixieland, because that's very much not Dixieland as far as I understand it.
We're also not jazz majors, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everything we've been saying.
Disclaimer!
I'm pulling from a semester of studying drum set styles, low-key. I like how that section uses space. It makes it feel more improvised. It makes it feel more sloppy, and I think that kind of like that like giant gap, it really gives it the feeling of like this isn't quite a K-pop song, which is a kind of nice to have a little bit more of like the actual flavor of what they're going for.
That piano like was cool.
I wanna figure out what that is. I think it's just a blues line.
But the way they play it.
Yeah, well, I'm getting to that. The blues scale is usually the first thing that you learn as a jazz musician. Like when you're learning how to solo, it's like, oh, just like play the blues scale and go up and down it, and you can go like. The reason they call it the blues scale is that it has these two blue notes, this minor third, and then this diminished fifth from over the root, which on its own sounds very crunchy, but if you play it like there we go, something like that, I don't know. And so it can sound very kind of dull and bland on its own if you're just going down, but what matters is how you play it. Swing is created from the accents, it's created from the syncopation, and it's created from emphasizing those offbeats and accenting, because that's where the swing, kind of like the lift of swing kind of happens. So instead of playing it just like Instead of doing that, which is just like would be how I would usually interpret a non-jazz musician would play that line. What matters is the inference. So it's it sounds way more fun and accented when you treat the piano like a percussion instrument, because it's a percussion instrument. So yeah, that's my rant on swing. But fun line. I heard that and I was like, that sounds good.
So it was cool to see them do like this like sensual R&B thing, and then have it also be like a consent anthem at the same time.
Yeah.
It's just like such a cool concept.
Super cool.
That means this is gonna be a fire react session. This means we're gonna be perked up today.